Okay, welcome back. So what I've been doing today then is something that I did previously on the old Helix, was play around with the Fuzz Face, and got a quite a good Hendrix kind of vibe. I'll put this on. Okay. Yeah, it worked quite well. So I thought I'd try it out with this new Plexi that we've got, this new Agora one. So it's jumped the brick Plexi, this one, and we're kind of maxed on the drives and the master, using a bit of hype. Presence is quite high also, maybe a bit too high actually on the presence. Compressor settings, I've tried to not do my usual studio kind of end of signal thing, because I found that it took too much of that glass, that top end away. I've got very little high cuts on, 6.9 and 96 on the low. I want a really, it might, when I listen back, come across too much, but in my ears I've been loving this. Again, it's one of those I think I'm deafening myself with, because it sounds great turned up. So, for a long time, I thought that this Arbitrator Fuzz was trash. When you plug into it without any kind of looking it up, if you treat it like a normal drive or distortion, you're going to fail. So this is what I've done on this bottom signal here, which I can activate by swapping these two gain blocks. They're both blocking signal. So now that's off. Take this off. I've got another amp I really like, this Princess 76. If I put it onto my humbucker, and this I've gone more traditional with my high and low cups of 57. And I've positioned it right on the edge of the cone. And what else have I done? Dynamic room, I really like that. Oops, turn it off. And then my usual thing of taking the compressor on this focus view and just dragging it down there to that studio polish. And yeah, it sounds what I normally would. Normally I'd put something like a OCD pedal, or the compulsive drive, or the what's the other one called? The prize drive. Really like those two. But if you add this Arbitrator, and this is the exact same settings on as I had with the Plexi, you get on a humbucker, on a single coil. Now, what I learned, and I've known this about Hendrix for a long time, is cranks everything, turns down on his guitar. So if we do that, it sounds a lot better. So a bit on these Seymour Duncan pickups on this Pacifica. Sounds much better when we're putting less in. By the way, I have changed the input impedance to 136, which it's subtle, but it does affect it when you're turning down, actually. I don't know if that's coming across. It depends how you're listening, I guess. So yeah, it sounds much better if we take up the volume a little bit more on this Fender Princeton. It starts with a lot of compression, a lot of I don't know, it's almost glitchy, isn't it? Yeah. So that's sounding horrible. If we swap back to the Plexi, and I'm on full, all the way up on my volume, still very, very, I wouldn't say that's usable, maybe for, you know, going crazy. If we take this down to its lowest setting and swap back to the Princess, that's what it's doing through the Fender amp. And it just adds that. And as I say, I've not got the high and low cuts on that Plexi, sorry, on this Greenback 30 cab, whereas I have here. But I'm kind of just demonstrating, if you approach this Arbitrator with the same way that you've kind of found works well with your other presets, which this is kind of what I do most of the time down at the bottom, it's detrimental to this pedal. I love this. And I loved it on the previous Helix, but I think this Brit Plexi is awesome. It's sounding really good on my police presets. You know what I'm taking from the old Helix, the Courtesan flanger. So I just thought that might be interesting to people that have looked at this pedal, kind of, you know, have gone, not for me. If you pair it with a Plexi, crank that, and turn your guitar down, you'll get some really great Hendrix Tones. Anyway, I think that'll do for today. If you're enjoying these videos, if you could give me a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. I don't think I'll bother putting this. You could recreate this quite easy. Just that Plexi cranked. Keep the high and lows pretty, you know, there's not really much there. If I take off the compressor, actually. Yeah, I think everybody should be able to get this tone relatively easy. But if you are enjoying this, you want to support me and the channel, feel free to buy me a coffee. I'll put the details below. But yeah, grab a Strat, neck pickup, turn down, go have some fun. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.